Well, just a little update. We got the entire front end off, obviously. Biggest part about moving the radiator was these bad boys, because I undid the clip, and that's when I realized it would have been easier to untwist it from the radiator, because now that clip is a bitch to put back in. Slowly working on the wire harness. The wire harness will fold over the engine from the passenger side to the driver's side. So work on your driver's side and work your way backwards, and eventually you will slowly start to get it. And then once it's all off, there's a couple plugs down here, and this looming, there's a couple brackets that hold it in place on the motor. And then once you get all that done, the entire engine harness should be able to fold right over. It does go into the truck right here. I'm not exactly sure how to get that one off just yet, but I'm sure I'll figure it out eventually. And then once all that's done, it's going to be picking the truck up, getting up under there, unbolting the exhaust pipe from the exhaust manifolds. Once that's done, it is coming back up to the top of the engine. Go ahead and disconnect the fuel lines and everything. One of the biggest things that I wanted to point out to y'all, if y'all decide to do an LS swap, is most S10s, well actually all S10s and Blazers, have two fuel lines. One sending, one return. If you go over to your intake manifold on your LS, if you have two fuel lines, all you need to do is just get a hose adapter and some clamps, fit them on. If you only have one fuel line, like this manifold, you're going to have to get the Chevy Corvette fuel regulator, which basically goes where your fuel pump goes. And I could be wrong on that. I haven't done too much research on it. I just know what I've read on forums. And it basically cuts your vehicle down from two fuel lines to one with that regulator. So from the regulator to the engine, there's only one fuel line versus two fuel lines like we got. If you have the 2 points, it's going to be in my opinion, a simpler swap versus having to do more work, buy more parts. Another big thing that I'm going to be doing while I'm down here is doing an ABS delete. And there is a Wilwood, I forget what it's called. You attach all your brake lines to it, and then it proportioning valve, and will evenly distribute pressure to all four wheels. So that'll get rid of this big old bulky thing that who needs ABS. And then one of the biggest reasons I'm doing an AC delete is because those spark plugs are already appear to be a pain in the ass to get to. But the great thing about Chevys and S10s with the 4.3s, you lift it up and you can get to the spark plugs right through there. It's just mindless cramp because I got a 5-inch drop in the front. But once you lift it up, you got nothing but clearance to get in there to do all three spark plugs on this side. And doing the AC delete, that will flatten this out, so that way it should be easier to get to the 4-cylinder spark plugs on this side. And I don't know about this side because I got to do something with the steering shaft. Hopefully I can keep the original. I might upgrade to the Jeep steering shaft, but I'm not 100% sure just yet. Another thing is remove the latch. Your power steering pump, you can use your stock power steering pump off of the 4.3 on the LS. And the reason I have to reuse mine is because when we were stripping down the Silverado, my buddy that was helping me decided to cut that hard line. So now I don't have that part to attach my line to again. And instead of buying a new power steering pump, I'm just going to reuse my power steering pump off of 4.3 Or if, I get the extra money and I decide to, I will buy a brand new power steering pump, because so far everything else on this truck has been brand new. Well, on this motor. Slowly but surely it's coming along. I apologize I didn't record a video of me taking this all apart. I haven't been able to get my camcorder yet because of my job. I haven't had time to run up to Walmart to just pick up a real simple one. But whenever I go to start putting Humpty Dumpty back together, I will be recording it step by step, so then that way you can just go back and watch it in reverse. So that way you're not, trying to figure this out in the dark like I am.